However, I'm the city manager with the city of Sanford, and I first met Danny through our relationship, a working relationship with the town of Spring Lake. Danny was hired as a water resources director when I was town manager, and worked with me for several years in that capacity. You know, when Danny was hired at town of Spring Lake, we faced a multitude of challenges that were a problem at that time. For one, we were under a special order of consent by the state of North Carolina for problems that we were facing at our wastewater treatment plant. Danny was able to come in, he was able to make changes to the plant. We were able to automate certain things at the plant. We were able to move out from under that SOC and ultimately got on the path to where we became more productive. We were able to meet the regulations imposed on us by the state and moved us into the future. It was very successful. Danny was very innovative in some of those approaches. We were able to cut our workforce at the plant, saving the town a substantial amount of money. As a problem solver, Danny was very proactive. When we expanded our wastewater treatment plant and upgraded our plant, of course with any design you can have problems as you move through those designs. When the plant was finished operationally, there were some challenges, and Danny really helped overcome those. If it was a problem, he was able to jump on it pretty quickly, resolve it, and certainly his experience in wastewater treatment enabled us to tweak whatever kind of problems that we had and turn them into viable solutions. From his innovation, one of the best things I think that we did at our, especially at our wastewater treatment plant, we were having to operate our plant 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, staffing wise. And what Danny did, he recommended a system whereby the plant could be run remotely, and actually that a lot of the systems at our plant could be automated. Once those were automated, we were able to cut our staffing back to running at about half of the amount of staff that we had previously. It was ultimately a huge savings to the town through his innovative ideas. One thing that I really liked about our working relationship and being around Danny is, that I find unique, is he really loves what he does. There's nobody who enjoys working in the wastewater industry and the water industry than he does, and he has a real passion for it, and that passion blends over into being a good problem solver, a good leader, somebody who's enthusiastic every day about what they do. It's rare to find that in people today. It's real unique to see somebody who just loves it, and when you love what you do, you can be the best at what you do.
My name is Thanina Wilson, and I'm the Director for Cumberland County Community Development. We administer the federal block grant funds that are received by Cumberland County on an annual basis. My experience with Daniel comes from his employment with the town of Spring Lake when he was the Water Resources Director there. He actually enjoys what he does, and he is very knowledgeable, and he is very thorough as far as ensuring that all of the information that he presents and that he gives you is complete and accurate. He's very willing to provide whatever it is that you're asking for, that if you have questions, he can answer those questions, and he never makes you feel as though you don't know as much about public utilities as he does. So I did find that to be very refreshing. One of the major projects that I had the privilege of working with Danny on was the West Manchester Sewer Project. And I think it puts it lightly to say that we faced several challenges with that particular project. Funding became an issue, sometimes bidding became an issue, but one of the things that I certainly have to say is that Danny worked well as far as resolving those issues. He did not hesitate to bring those that needed to be at the table to the table to discuss the issues at hand. He's very innovative, and one of the things that I thought that was very good about this project is he was very concerned about as many citizens receiving services as possibly could. So the project actually expanded a couple of times, and we were very pleased with that. We were able to work through all of the issues. Danny, as I said, is just very innovative, very creative, and comes up with very good ideas as far as resolving problems. So we were actually able to provide sewer to citizens of Spring Lake that desperately needed it. Yes, I would certainly recommend Danny's services in any arena of public utilities work. He, again, is very knowledgeable. He is creative. I think that no matter what the task or no matter what the problem, that he can certainly handle the project, no matter what size. I do believe that he has the capabilities and the knowledge to actually produce excellent products and excellent projects.
My name's Gary McConnell. I'm president of McConnell and Associates. I'm a professional engineer in, I believe, 5 states. We do have president of a small engineering company. We do work in various states, East Coast as well as far west as Montana. We do primarily water, wastewater, and some civil engineering type work. I've known Danny for a few years now. Worked with him primarily when he was Water Resources Director for the town of Spring Lake, and we worked through several projects and overcame several challenges that were facing the town. I've gotten to know Danny over the years, both on a professional basis and a personal basis. Danny's a family man, very proud of his loving wife and his children. Puts them foremost in his life. Professionally, Danny's a very hard worker. Has a lot of innovative ideas. People that work for him respect him very much. A lot of the staff I've worked with tell him that they really enjoy working with Danny, and takes challenges and upon himself and does his best to help lead the troops to battle and solve issues. For example, when he came to work with the town of Spring Lake, they had an SOC clarification that the plant was undersized. He worked with my company as we did the upgrade, design, construction, worked with staff, got that under control, and the outcome was what the town got off the SOC, which is a special order consent. Spring Lake, I worked with Danny on a study where we evaluated the town of Spring Lake's wastewater plant. The efforts there were to upgrade the facility to potentially increase the capacity, as well as to bring the plant up to reuse quality standards, which involve nutrient removal, biological nutrient removal, and also implementing a reuse for the town as well as some of the other entities within the town itself. That is very successful, and currently we're moving forward to get a grant for the design and construction. We also, in that study, we looked at the potential to add solar capabilities at the plant, which was an innovative idea to be more energy efficient. Danny's to my knowledge, is a grade 4 operator, which is one of the highest classifications for wastewater operation. And he's very good at identifying issues within a plant. A wastewater plant's a biological system. He understands the biology and chemistry involved. When issues come up, which they always will, just by the nature of the beast, so to speak, he's able to pull out from his bag of tricks numerous options, and typically comes up with the optimum solution to solve the problem. Looks at costs, what's best from an operations standpoint, and been very successful in those endeavors. I would have no problem recommending Danny and his company to work on any project, large or small, as he'll rise to the task and the occasion, and I'm sure he'll be successful.
My name is Nellie L. McCoy, former alderman for Spring Lake. I volunteered with the Appearance Commission for about 7 years. And I walked into the building one day and I met Danny sitting at his desk, and I asked him some questions about things that were going on in the building. And he was very forthright and forthcoming with his information. And I was very impressed with him when I first met him. I think I told him, it's so nice to see you sitting behind that desk. I saw him with his workers, and I knew that he knew what he was doing, and they respected him. They appeared to want to do what he asked, and they wanted to please him. And anytime that some of my neighbors wanted to get things, and Danny was forthright in getting it done for them and for us, because it seems that he had a little bit of affinity for older folks, and he would do a lot of things to help us out. And I saw that he was well respected by his peers. Danny was very concerned and very, very serious about his job. And he took his time to do what had to be done. And it seemed to me that he had a good working relationship with the people who worked with him and for him. He was very forthright with his information if you asked him a question about something. And he never tried to rush you off. He would always explain it to you. One night at the board meeting, a report was given about water treatment and water plants and so forth. And we were talking back and forth, and nobody really seemed to know what they were talking about. So when it was my turn to speak, I asked for Danny to come to the podium. And he came to the podium without any papers or anything, explained the whole situation so that we could understand what was going on. And then we tabled it because of what he said so that we could study it further. So he was very forthright with the information. And the information was very helpful and useful to us as aldermen. I strongly recommend that he be accepted for whatever he's striving for, because he's a young man. And he reminds me so much of my sons, and because he wants to be successful. He always seems to keep in mind that he has a family that he wants to take care of and be responsible for.